Well, good morning and welcome to Camp Wounded Dog Workshop. Saturday morning, and this is part 2 of that information I showed about saving a Ted Wiliams font. This is the font that appeared in the other video. It's been replated. It's not shiny now because there's a thin layer of oil on this, and I'll tell you why later. This is the bottom. What we did, the bottom of this was completely rusted out, just impossible to fix. So I cut the bottom out of a donor 220 font, soldered it in place and all that. So anyway, that part I already showed you pictures of. What we're going to do now is the final step in this. Because we used heat to solder this in, the solder joint in the bump may have failed. I don't want to take a chance of this lantern leaking on my guy. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to Caswell the inside of the font. Caswell Plating Company has a product called a gas tank sealer. I'm not going to tip this to show you the label because it'll spill all over. Gas tank sealer is a 2-part epoxy that's resistant to just about every flammable ether except some of the higher scale acetones, but gas and stuff like that, naphtha, diesel, all that doesn't affect it at all. So it makes a great gas tank sealer. It's a 2-part epoxy that you have to mix, and mixing it is critical. You got to get your proportions just right. 2 parts of part A to 1 part of part B. Now I've already put my part A in, and I'm going to show you how I do this. Because this stuff is so thick, if you try to pour it out of your can, it's going to get stuck all over the lip, drip all over there. It's like honey in the middle of winter, just really, really thick. I use these little hobby popsicle sticks. I picked these up at Walmart in the craft section as dippers to get the product out. What I need now, I put in two tablespoons, and I need to put in 1 tablespoon of part B. I pick up these animal syringes at my local Tractor Supply store in the veterinary department. They're pretty cheap. If you clean them, you get 2 or 3 uses out of them before you throw them away. So what I'm going to do is add the part B, and you dip, get the drip off, and just sort of let it lazy river into your syringe. Now keep an eye on how much you're putting in. You don't want to get too much of this in. Whoa. One more little dip. Alright, that should do it. Yep, there we go. Put your plunger back in, turn it upside down so you don't squirt it all over yourself, let the air come up, and then shoot it in. Pull this back and shoot it back in again. You want to get any excess out, and I'll tell you why. Then take one of your sticks and you mix the stuff up really good. You can stir this for up to 2 minutes. I think they recommend 2 minutes. I usually don't go that long. Until you got everything mixed up real good. I always try to put on disposable gloves because this stuff gets on your skin. It doesn't burn or anything. It's just so stinking nasty and hard to get off. Anyway, so this is critical. Do not use one stick to dip out of both cans, because if you take stuff from here and put it in here, it's going to contaminate this can, and next time you open it up it may be jelly that you can't use. So use 2 separate sticks. But once you got them in, it doesn't make any difference which stick you use. Then you can take your syringe, pour this stuff in, and you're going to see how thick it is. So this stuff is really thick, slow flowing. Viscosity is really, really hard. What I'll usually do then is use one of the sticks to scrape all the stuff that's stuck on the sides down so it'll pour. Then pour it back in. So if you were doing a whole font with stress cracks and issues up there, you'd want to use a lot more. I'm just using enough to seal that bottom edge. So carefully wipe off your nozzle, put it in your filler, and shoot that stuff in there. There you go. Now, you saw how slow it flowed. Taking my gloves off now so I don't get this stuff on the font. You saw how thick and how slow that stuff flowed. So what you want to do, because I'm just sealing this seam, tilt the font up and slowly roll it. Pardon me. Now I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing, but that's basically what you do. You roll it so your stuff can flow all the way around. This stuff can take anywhere from 20 minutes to 4 hours to cure. Depends on your temperature. The warmer it is, the quicker it'll cure. Again, be careful not to cross-contaminate. Be careful to use the correct proportions. This is probably the best sealer available. There's another one called Red Coat, which you get at your auto supply store. I don't want that running in the middle. Red Coat is a single step operation. It stays pliable inside the tank. It works pretty good too. But I like Caswell because Caswell can bridge pretty decent sized pinholes. There's no pinholes left in this project, but the Caswell will fill pinholes. Red Coat doesn't do quite a job. Red Coat is a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier to use. But I prefer Caswell. They've come out with a size now specifically for lantern fonts. So you go to Caswell.com, look under gas tank sealers, and they have a smaller amount for lantern fonts. You can get about 3 fonts done out of it. I think it costs about $24 for the kit. So you're talking about, like $8 or $9 with shipping to save a lantern, which really isn't bad if it's a collectible lantern. Handles stress crack. Oh, look, I got so much crap on there. Damn it. It handles stress cracks really well. Pinholes pretty good too. If it's a bigger pinhole and you don't want to horse around with what I did, put a piece of duct tape over the pinhole, and the Caswell will cover that and fill it. Then peel off your duct tape. If it's a bigger pinhole, you might just for safety's sake want to do a second application. But that's about all there is to it. When this guy gets polished up, he's going to look pretty much just like new. We saved the Ted that was otherwise totally garbage. The Spencer, the owner, took the vent and had that shipped out to IPE, and they re-porcelainized it with red porcelain. This thing's going to look brand new when he's done. Probably pick up the decal from Mike at oldcolemanparts.com. So even if you got a bad lantern, if you love it or if it's a high-ticket collectible, it can pretty much be saved. All right, that's it, folks. You have a real good weekend. Stay out of trouble. And thanks for stopping by Camp Wounded Dog Workshop. Bye-bye. Bye.